Greetings and welcome to Weekly Kashmir University Video Digest Quest. We begin this episode with the information that Professor Musaddiq Sahaf has taken over as the new registrar of the university, replacing Professor Zafar Ahmed Reshi of the Botany Department. Professor Sahaf is a professor from the business school with specialization in strategic marketing. Professor Sahaf is among the senior-most professors of the university. Speaking to Quest after taking over the charge as registrar, Professor Sahaf said,
At the outset, I actually thank the authorities of the University of Kashmir in general and Professor Khurshid Iqbal, Vice Chancellor, University of Kashmir in particular, for entrusting this responsibility where he thought it proper that this person can transform the institution in terms of work culture, in terms of commitment, and in terms of motivation of the employees. I'm highly thankful to him. Most of our officers believe in incremental changes. Traditionally, we used to promote incremental changes. Now we have realized that if we will not go for radical changes, the system will not be more responsive to the stakeholders. The university has been created for a given purpose. If that purpose is not attained, the utility of the institution will be challenged. So therefore, what is needed is actually to create a system which responds to the changing circumstances of the environment and also changing needs of the stakeholders. Things have completely changed. Over the years, we have realized that if a system is not running as per the system, it is running as per the individual discretions, individual likes and dislikes of the administrators, the system is not in a position to deliver what it is expected to deliver.
How to push the administrative reformers and other issues and challenges that the university faces. So do you have certain engaged?
As far as the potential is concerned, the University of Kashmir is considered one of the best universities in India, which has created its image not only in the country but across the world as well. But what is needed that we have to be a little bit efficient. In the sense, we cannot afford to be less efficient. We are operating in a highly competitive environment, so if we will not focus on the efficiency, at the same time we have to also focus on the effectiveness, that we have to attain the purpose for which the university was created. So my personal liking will be that I will be always thinking in terms of promoting the system rather than the individuals. And team spirit will be needed for that, and we will push the team spirit, teamwork for the betterment of the institution. For the last few years, there has been transition in the education from traditional courses to the knowledge-based courses. And we have to create a system for that. Although University of Kashmir has taken different measures to create path for the knowledge society, but at the same time there are certain deficiencies, and we have to actually work on those deficiencies. That is the major challenge. So our focus will be to develop the system which is more responsive to the knowledge-based economy.
The Quest team congratulates Professor Sahaf and wishes him all the best.
We have to operate in a highly competitive environment in future, maybe in near future, and there is only one way to achieve the success, that is that we have to work hard. We cannot relax just with this argument that challenges are not there. We don't know at what time what will be the challenge, so we have to be mentally and intellectually ready to face any kind of challenge. That is the message. Rest, they will be motivated to work, and all incentives and system and facilities will be provided to all employees of the university. But what we need is their cooperation and commitment. I'll try my best to give best to the institution and bring that requisite transformation in the system which is needed to make it more competitive and efficient.
Now a look at the highlights. DICA organizes awareness cum training workshop on higher education. Valedictory function of Environment Day held. Around 6,000 students take part in CSIR NET examinations. And we also have some important notifications of the university. Now the details of all these events with your host Nisar Dharma. Directorate of Internal Quality Assurance held a one-day awareness cum training workshop on All India Survey on Higher Education, commonly known as ISHE. The function was held in the Gandhi Bhavan. Under the Aishi, the Ministry of Human Resource Development collects online information of higher educational institutions for making policy decisions. Deputy Director DICA, Mr. Shaukat Shafi, presented the theme of the workshop.
In All India Survey on Higher Education, it is all about to portray the status of higher education in the country. Ministry of Human Resource Development has endeavored to conduct an annual web-based All India Survey on Higher Education since 2010-11, and the Directorate of DICA is actively involved with this survey. We are actively trying to, make this program a success for ourselves. Why? Because when we actively make proper responses to this survey, we can reap the benefits of this survey as well.
Director DICA, Professor Fayaz Ahmed, while stressing the importance of Aishi, said that as far as uploading data on the portal is concerned, private colleges have not shown much progress.
If you go by this AISHE, firstly it is mandatory on the part of MHRD that every college is bound to, because information of all the colleges should be available so that anybody interested in actually choosing a college finds the stats of the college on the website itself, and then only decides about the college. So in a way, the college actually somehow is directly benefited. That some different agencies, they simply upload their data and some different agencies actually highlighting their performances, etc. Then for NAC accreditation, it is also important. This is probably one of the criteria which has been fixed by NAC, that unless you uploaded this AISHE data on this AISHE portal, probably they won't accept the letter of intent. Now, given this scenario, the administration took it seriously and a decision has been taken that affiliation of every college affiliated to the University of Kashmir is now related to, linked to the uploading of the AISHE. So any college who has not uploaded the AISHE DSF second, because we have two formats, data capture formats in this AISHE. It is DCF first, that is for the university, and then we have DCF second. Data capture format second is for the colleges and outside campuses.
Principal Amar Singh College and Nodal Officer of Colleges, Professor Zahoor Ahmed Saad, told participants that the objective of Aishi is to make higher education accessible for most of the people.
It is amazing to find that out of 94 private colleges affiliated to the university, some 36 colleges which I find from the list which is available, some of those colleges are very reputed colleges and they have not even bothered to register themselves for this ASH. In fact, putting on the information on the web portal of the Ministry of Human Resource Development with regard to the performance of higher education of each state is essential. It is essential not only for the interests of the state, interests of the institutions, interests of the country as a whole, but it is actually a matter which is being taken seriously at the global level as well. You all must be aware of the fact Indian higher education system is facing the problems. And one of the problems that it has been facing over the last so many years is the problem with regard to the access to this higher education. How many students who are eligible for seeking the admissions for higher education, how many of them eligible students are in a position to actually get admissions for higher education at the national level? It is not beyond 16%, though our position in respect of the access rate is comparatively better in comparison to the national standards, but it is not more than 16% at the national level.
Former Registrar Professor Zafar Ahmed Reshi, who also heads the university's Aishi cell, impressed upon participants the importance of cooperating and timely uploading of the vital information on the portal.
Ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you very frankly that if you do not do it, all of us are going to suffer. Reason being that funding would be, the RUSA funding is based on certain basic parameters. If the data is not available, naturally those basic parameters cannot be worked out, and consequently the state in terms of funding may suffer. Now, this workshop has been convened only to emphasize on all of you that this is very essential, not only for the institution to which you belong, but for the entire province as well, that if we do not meet the deadlines, then there is every likelihood that the authorities that be would somehow take recourse to non-compliance and then target this place for funding and other things, which needs to be very seriously thought of. And then I would appreciate that the college, the nodal officers of various colleges would take this message home to the college that this activity has to be finished and it has to be finished by 30th.
Center of Research for Development and Department of Environmental Science held valedictory function of symposium on 7 Billion Dreams, One Planet, Consume with Care. The symposium was held in collaboration with Department of Dean Students Welfare. The valedictory function was held in the Gandhi Bhavan Auditorium. Head Department of CORD and Environmental Sciences, Professor Bashir Ahmed Ganai, deliberated upon the importance of environment in day-to-day life.
World Environment Day is a day for the people from all walks of life to come together to ensure a cleaner, greener, brighter outlook for themselves and future generations. This year, the United Nations Environment Programme, UNEP, named the World Environment Day 2015 theme as 7 Billion Dreams, One Planet, Consume with Care, which is a campaign for the well-being of humanity, the environment, and the functioning of the economy.
Dean DSW Professor Nilofer Khan impressed upon students that they must protect the campus from environmental degradation.
I'm sure that from this forum we'll definitely work towards, this should not be the end of it. I do look forward as a senior teacher of the university to create a forum from this hall, at least to safeguard our own university from environmental degradation, and I'm sure that in this we'll have full support from our youth to guide us, to guide the authorities of the university and make this campus, University of Kashmir, one of the most beautiful campus at the national level and also at the international level.
Controller Examinations Professor Abdul Salam Bhatt explained the concept of 7 billion dreams, one planet, consume with care.
Good thing about this slogan is that for the first time an open invitation is being sent to different people belonging to different walks of life, whether it is ecology, whether it is economics, that please come forward, find a solution to this objective. Now, from economics point of view, obviously the days of measuring the welfare of the people in terms of higher GNP, that era has to be behind. People's welfare cannot be measured in terms of how much increase has taken place in the GNP of that country, regardless of the fact whether that increased GNP has come from increased arms and ammunition, whether it has come from increased destruction of the forest wealth, what and what not. So there isn't any scope because welfare here is measured in terms of simple GNP at the cost of the ecology.
Dean Academic Affairs Professor Muhammad Ashraf Wani said that the factors responsible for environmental degradation must be looked at.
The agricultural land is under invasion of construction mania, that is horizontal construction mania. The grazing land, grazing grounds which used to feed our cattle are extinct, and similarly the marshy land, the numbal, is not existing at all today because of the pressures of this. Similarly, many plants and animals, and particularly the birds which I used to see in my childhood, I am not seeing them today because they lost their habitat.
Later, many scholars and participants were given certificates. The CSIR NET examination for Junior Research Fellowship was held in Kashmir University. The exam is held twice in a year for lectureship and JRF. Around 6,000 candidates from various parts of the valley participated in the examination. Kashmir University had made elaborate arrangements for the conduct of this examination. Supervisor CSIR UGC NET, Professor Irshad Nauchu, while speaking to the Quest team, said that the examination is being conducted with absolute transparency and fairness.
As per the CSIR guidelines, 50% of the staff should be from CSIR and the 50% from the institution where we organize such exams. Right from the morning, we have taken care that the students are properly guided to the centers, and in each center, as per the guidelines of the CSIR, the seating arrangement is allocated so that the students are aware where they have to sit and what statutes they have to follow. In the morning hours, we always face problems in the sense that some of the students are slightly late, but as per the CSIR guidelines, we always provide them an extra duration of up to 25 minutes so that whosoever student comes from a far-flung area can actually enter the examination center and be allowed to appear. In the afternoon session, we don't have such problems because the session starts at 2 p.m. and majority of the students are in time. And there again, if any student because of certain discrepancies is not able to come at time, we allow him to enter the center for about 15 minutes.
He expressed happiness that every year the number of students taking part in this examination is increasing.
Every year we have seen that majority of the students who appear in this test are very keen to see what are the guidelines, and they try to always request us to provide them in advance what the information is. And in every year we have seen that many students in different streams have qualified NET, and that has in turn proved that not only the organization, that is the conducting of the NET, is a fundamental requirement, but also the students are all keenly following it so that they can actually be able to qualify the NET for two different purposes. One, that is why they qualify it for JRF, that is they are sponsored for 5 long years in terms of fellowship and other assistance, as well as they become eligible for applying for assistant professor's post both at UG level as well as PG level. We hope that in future also this test will be conducted regularly in the Kashmir University, and the CSR will always be helpful in terms of organizing it as well as guiding the students as well as the organizers properly, so that majority of the students of Kashmir do not have to suffer for the lack of the conducting facilities.
Dean Academic Affairs Professor Muhammad Ashraf Bani told Quest team that ever since the examinations were conducted in the valley, a huge number of students are qualifying this examination.
When this CSIR NET exam was conducted in this university, there has been an increasing trend of examinees. Before this, we find that most of the students were reluctant to go outside when it was conducted outside. And you will find that today a good number of students have been participating, not only participating, but they are also qualifying this exam. And in so far as the All India trend is concerned, we have the highest number of participants, rather we have highest percentage of these examinees here in the university. 85% of the candidates have appeared in this examination, which is perhaps the record in the whole of the country. 2 decades back, we find that just a very slender number of students used to qualify. Most of the students were not having NET or JRF students, JRF qualified candidates available. But this time you will find the scores of candidates with JRF, with NET available here. It is because of the growing culture of participation in these national level exams.
Now some important notifications of the university. Applications on plain paper with detailed biodata are invited for admission to MA, MSc, Disaster Management under lateral entry to 3rd semester for the academic session 2015 from the candidates possessing PG Diploma in Disaster Management regular mode from any recognized university. The eligible candidates are advised to submit their applications by or before June 30, 2015. Students desirous to do diploma and certificate courses in various subjects are intimated that the last day to submit the online applications is July 7. To know more about these, log on to kashmiruniversity.net or kashmiruniversity.ac.in. With this, we come to the end of today's program. To watch all the episodes of Quest, log on to emmrckashmir.com. Send us your suggestions at our email address quest@emmrckashmir.com. Before I take your leave, here are a few words of wisdom. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet.